Hi, Couch Detectives. Welcome to Murder, She Watched. I'm Amy Archer. I'm your host today. And today joining me is my friend Kyla, who not only loves murder shows and went down the rabbit hole with me on this one, but lives near Delphi?
Yes. Hi. I live
Similar. You live adjacent. You live kind of near it.
I'm within 2 hours of it. I live about an hour 45 minutes north of where that happened. North, east, west. I'm still
Yeah, we
never
can't.
eat soggy
Yeah.
Wheaties. I can't do that.
Oh, what is that?
The compass directions, that was how I learned them in grade school. North, never eat soggy Wheaties.
Are you a millennial?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. Because Gen X,
Yeah.
they didn't put that much time into anything.
No, that's awesome.
They were like, here's a map. We're going to drop you off in the woods. You could figure out northeast.
You're fine.
West.
You make it, you make it.
Well, thank you for joining me on this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so very welcome. I'm very excited to talk about this with you.
So today we're talking about capturing their killer, the girls on the high bridge. And it comes out August 5th. By the time you're hearing this, it's August 6th. So it just dropped yesterday on HULU. I want to talk about your knowledge of or experience with the case, because I will tell you that I didn't really know a lot about it.
Right. Which that was when you told me that you didn't know a lot about it. I was kind of surprised to hear that.
You were disappointed in me, weren't you?
I was like, Amy, come on.
Do better.
Does your mom know about this case?
Of course she does.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I thought of her actually. But no, so this happened in 2017, and I remember the day this happened because they keep talking about the unseasonably warm February day.
Yes.
I totally remember that because it was February and it was in the 50s, and our friends had like a cookout and had people over to get in the hot tub because it's Indiana and it's in the winter and 50s. We're going to
my
take
students
advantage.
my students would come to class in shorts and tank tops.
Oh,
it was 50 degrees. Yeah.
That's always the joke here. It breaks 40 and everybody's in shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah. Yep.
But so I remember it being on the news locally that like within the next day or two, and people being just mind blown. And my hometown is closer to Delphi than where I live now. And I mean, I've driven through Delphi a ton of times, and it's a classic Midwestern small town, really similar to where I grew up, which strikes a chord, right? Because, I mean, you can only see yourself in those positions as those girls. And I think that's what just is the gut punch with this case.
I will tell you this. Watching this documentary, I was in tears most of the time.
Oh, absolutely. It gets me every time. And
yes. And these parents and the grandparents, I'm so heartbroken for them.
They are amazing.
It's kind of funny because my mom was like, I don't know why that grandmother let her go out there. Da, da, da. And I said, Mom, I always try to put myself in everybody else's shoes.
Absolutely. Same.
I'm like, Mom, first of all, it was her grandmother. So it's a different generation.
Absolutely.
Right? It's a very small town. They don't lock their doors. Everybody knows everybody.
Yep.
This is a thing that you do. And I mean, this could happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
You make a judgment call. You think it's the right one.
And they were 14, too. It's not like they were like 11, 12.
Right, exactly.
I mean, my friends and I were trusted to go do things like that at 14.
And another thing is, my mom has been, raised on a steady diet of murder shows. So I'm like, the grandmother might not be as cynical.
Right. You forget that people don't live in that universe. Like, well, you're not worried about getting murdered. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And I just, my heart broke for her because I can't imagine the what ifs that she lives with. And she shouldn't, just to be very clear.
Oh, absolutely.
But she does. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
That's human nature. Yeah.
And just Libby, I mean, to have the wherewithal to turn on that camera. She caught her own killer.
It just gave me goosebumps again. She just was so brave in that moment. And as a 14-year-old kid, I was thinking about that because I was thinking about my friend group at that age. And, most people have that friend they did nefarious stuff with. And I have my friend in mind that I'm thinking of. And in that moment, I'm like, would I have been the strong one or not? And it's like, I don't know. Would I have thought in that moment, like, turn my phone on? Or would you just be paralyzed with fear?
Yeah.
Both are understandable. And gosh, what an awesome girl. Her
So
grandparents.
her grandparents must be very proud of her, but also devastated. But like proud of how smart she was. Do
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
quick and on her toes. And
Yep.
like in
Yep.
that video, which I know we'll talk about, like, oh, she holds it together, and you can tell she's trying to be like solid
Yeah.
for Abby. And
Yeah. It's so another thing I want to say to everyone is this might get broken up into 2 episodes. We're not sure. We have
Yeah.
like 12 pages
Yeah.
of notes.
I know. My fingers were flying.
So if there is a part 2, we will let you know when that's happening, and that is happening. Okay. So let's start here. Delphi is a small community. There's an annual bacon festival, which
I
I'm
didn't
here
know
for.
that. That was news to me.
They're the bacon capital of the world.
Well, you know what's so fitting? I told you I'm from the egg basket of the Midwest.
Yes, you
Bacon
are. You
and
can drive
eggs.
right through there and get your bacon and
I
eggs.
know. We got to work together on this. That sounds
So
good.
there's a town square. There's nature trails. There's like one stoplight. Now there's 2. You know
Yeah.
that it's very similar to the town I live in now, which is only about 2,000 people, but we're very spread out. But it's
Okay.
very similar. We have like 2 or 3 stoplights.
Okay.
So the backstory is that Carrie got married young and had Kelsey when she was only 19. And then she got pregnant with Libby, whose full name is Liberty Rose Lynn German, shortly after. And she was really cute. She was born in December 2002. I mean, when I look at these videos of these little girls, all I could see are my girls.
Of course. How could you not, right? I
So-
know they were gorgeous.
Carrie says she and Derek made some bad decisions when Libby was young, and they both went to jail. So we don't know what those decisions were. Were they
No.
addiction?
They've never said now. And one of the things, this is the first that has been really spoken about in any
Okay.
media that I've consumed on it. It's always been like not really addressed why the grandparents had full custody. I mean, Reddit, obviously, you see rumors about addiction is what I have seen on Reddit, but I have not seen anything concrete, and I have never seen Derek on anything.
Yeah, Derek's
I've never
not in
seen him
this
be
either.
interviewed on anything.
So she moved to Kentucky, and Derek's parents took guardianship, she says, not custody.
Yes, I noticed that
Guardianship
too.
of the girls. Yes. So Mike and Becky, this is really confusing because Mike and Becky's names are Mike and Becky Patty.
I know, Mike and Becky Patty. It's a mouthful.
I'm like, I want to call you Mike and Patty so badly, but I won't.
I know.
Okay.
Right.
So Mike and Becky say Libby was 3 when she came to live with them. And
Yes.
these grandparents, first of all, can we discuss that Mike looks like he's 30 years younger than
I was going to say, I
Becky.
know. I know. He's looked, and if you look at other pictures, he's always looked so young. I feel like he's
Yeah.
got to definitely be younger than her by a
maybe a
significant
little bit.
amount.
I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Absolutely. She
She's
looks
a
so much
silver
like one of my
fox.
great aunts. It's so crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
So
Yeah.
I love how they talk about her because they're like, it was our honor to raise her. Like, they're
Yes.
not like, sometimes we see a lot of these put upon grandparents who are like, ugh, I had to
Yep.
raise
And they're
my
pretty vocal
grandkids.
about it. Yep.
That's not these people. They're like, we loved raising them.
And it was genuine, and you could tell.
Yeah. So Carrie and Libby talked often, and Carrie says, Libby knew that I was trying to get my way back to her, that I was trying to get my life in order. I was trying to come back there. And so, you know, they talked every day, and they still had a relationship.
Yes.
Now, Anna, who is Abby's mother, she was 3 months out of high school when she got pregnant with Abby. So again, we're seeing these young parents, right?
Yep.
Abby was born in 2003. Her full name is Abigail Joyce Williams. She was the first grandchild, and from what I can gather, Anna's family really helped raise Abby.
Yes. And I've always had a soft spot for Anna too. From my knowledge, I think Abby was her only child, and to this day.
It appears that way.
Yes. And she's just so broken, and I just want to hug Anna so bad.
Yeah, I know. So Abby and Libby were best friends in high school. They played in a band. Abby went on vacation with Libby and the grandparents, and Anna says, you know, we were planning a trip up north, and Libby was gonna come with us, and then we never had that. She does say, and this really resonated with me, she's like, there is a before and after in my life. There is a line down the middle.
I wrote that too, Amy. I wrote that line resonated with me because everybody can identify with that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and not to that extent, but those moments in life, right? Oh, it
Mm-hmm.
just that one.
So February 13th, 2017. It was a makeup snow day, so they didn't have school. And Abby was 13, Libby was 14. The weather broke, and like we said, it was 50 degrees, and everybody's like, woohoo, with their
Oh,
tank
yeah.
tops and their shorts.
50 degrees in the Midwest, forget it.
Which I want everybody to put a pin in that because the girls are wearing summery clothes.
Yes.
Everybody but Bridge Guy is dressed for the summer here.
Yep.
The 501 trail leads to the Monon. Is it Monon?
Yeah, it's kind of a tomato
Monon.
situation.
Yeah.
Monon, you know.
Monon High Bridge, and the trail ends there. So basically, it's a high railroad trestle.
And it's high.
It gave me Stand By Me vibes.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Yeah. So you walk over that bridge, and it literally just ends.
Yes.
There's nothing, like you have a little grassy knoll, and that's it.
Yes.
So the thing to do in this town was to walk the bridge or walk the trail out to the high bridge.
Yeah.
And turn around, come back. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
The bridge was sort of a place that the teens hung out, which we had bridges like this near us. We had something called the footbridge, which went over our interstate.
Okay.
And, yeah, people would go out there and drink and hang out, and it was like a teen place.
Right. We had fields and woods. We didn't really have bridges.
Well, we did have a lot of woods too.
Oh, yeah.
So Libby's sister, this morning, Libby's sister couldn't take them. They wanted Libby's sister to take them.
Yeah.
So Grandma let them go by themselves. And this was heartbreaking because Betty goes, she was smiling when she left me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh my God.
I'm telling you, I was sobbing.
I know. And can you imagine, she replays that moment, every waking moment of her
every
life and just wanting to be like, don't go.
Yep.
Ugh.
I don't know how you ever get over that, like those moments, how you ever block them out. You can't.
Yeah, like
they're
how
just present all the time.
You just have to, I guess, learn how to walk through life with them because, I feel like it's got to constantly be on a Rolodex playing.
So Derek, her father, was supposed to pick them up, but when the time came, he couldn't find her, and he was calling her and nothing. So at first the parents thought, well, maybe they lost track of time. So Mike and Betty get out there and they're searching the trails and they find nothing. So they're like, we need to call the police.
Yeah.
So Mike Thomas is one of the only police detectives we hear from in this.
Yes. And now if I looked into this correctly, I don't think he's working as a police officer anymore. I might not be correct on that, but
I think you're right. I got that vibe.
Yeah, and I was looking into this last night, and there's policies they said, and I think it was Carroll County specific in the Indiana State Police that they won't do interviews or they're not able to do interviews while they're working. So that's probably why he was the only one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So he was the chief deputy in the sheriff's office, and he got the calls, and he said, we go out, we start the search. They get this on social media. People start searching for the girls. It's all over the place. Now there's a snap on Snapchat sent from Libby's phone. It's around 2:07 that day, and Libby snaps Abby, and then she snaps the bridge. So no Bridge Guy in any of this right now.
No.
Everyone is worried because there's a river underneath. So now they're like, okay, so they were on the bridge. It's very high up.
Absolutely.
There's a river underneath. They could have fallen.
And I mean, the bridge, when you see it, there's like no railings. It's nuts.
There's no railings, Kyla, and there's like a foot between. Okay, so
I'm not a heights person.
Have you ever walked over a bridge like that? Like when I went one time, I just got it in my head that I want to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge, and I went out there, and the gaps in the planks are quite large, and I did not expect that, and I was like, I just need to keep looking forward and moving.
Did you do it?
I did it.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
But it was a lot.
I'm a wimp with heights. I've embarrassed myself many a time with heights.
I mean, I've talked about this many times. I won't even go out on a balcony.
No, I'm at that point too. We were at a wedding last summer in the courthouse downtown, and it's, the 4-story like open balcony, and my son wanted to look over it, and I was like having a panic attack almost, and my brother-in-law was like, "You're being ridiculous." No.
I know. I
Ugh.
know. So they have good reason to worry about this. And it starts getting
Yes.
dark and they call off the search at midnight and everybody's pissed off.
Can you imagine if that was your? But right. Okay. Here's the
In
putting ourselves.
retrospect, they were dead already.
Absolutely.
But I could see if you didn't know that, because the minute, again, I went into this cold, and the minute I saw
Yep.
this, I was like, if those girls were still alive at this point, I would have been furious.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In hindsight, right?
Yes. But like when I think it was Carrie when she was saying she was really, really mad. I like, as a mom, I would be too. I'd go full psycho. But you know, it is really treacherous terrain out there.
Yeah. So the next morning, the search resumes, and everyone, came together. And Mike Thomas is like, the town really showed up for this family. Like, they were there. And they find the girls, and they are deceased.
Oh yeah.
And I wrote here, I always feel so bad for the first responders.
Absolutely.
We don't think a lot about that. Like, we focus a lot on when the family gets the news, how they feel, but like, Mike Thomas even talks about that. Showing up and seeing this it haunts him.
How could, I mean, talk about things burned into your mind. And you're exactly right. The first responders are kind of not forgotten in a lot of these stories, but I think that trauma they live with. And
I can't even imagine.
No.
My ex-husband was once on a volunteer fire situation when he was like 17 or 18. And he responded to a call where somebody had died, burned up in their car. And he could never get over it. It was like 15 years later, and he still could not get over it. Yeah, it's very traumatic for people.
It is. One of my friends I grew up with, her dad is a flight medic locally here. And I know he said that when we were in high school and all started driving, anytime he would get a call for like a motor vehicle accident, he would just be like, okay.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. Ugh. So I'm not going to get too deep on how these girls were found. It's just,
a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. But Mike Thomas gives us an overview, and like I said, he says he's still haunted. Libby was not clothed, and Abby was wearing Libby's clothes.
Yes.
Which was interesting. And they also found drag marks.
Yes.
They found a little bit of what they believed was Libby's blood on a tree nearby, and branches were placed over the girls.
The branches, yes.
Okay. Dr. Kaur. Let's talk about Dr. Kaur, the forensic pathologist.
Yes, I have lots of notes on Dr. Kaur.
So I like Dr. Kaur, and I think he knows what he's doing. Okay?
I do too.
But I listened to an interview with him on the murder sheet.
Yes.
And they were like very excited to have the forensic pathologist for this case on their show. And I think he talked about this case for 5 minutes. And the rest of it was
which episode you're talking about.
The rest of it was all about him writing his book.
Isn't that the way it goes?
It was really, I was like, ugh.
It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like he really likes to be the center of it.
Which you and I both have backgrounds working in academia.
Yep.
We know.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, yep.
There's a type.
He's a professor.
Yep.
So he is the one who did the autopsy, and he says he believed that Libby was the first to die because Abby had some defensive wounds on her.
That was so like, ugh.
He also said there was no sexual assault to either girl. And it's such a low bar, but I was like, thank God.
Absolutely,
thank God.
right? At minimum, thank you.
So he's like, it was really weird, though, because they were stripped down.
Yes.
And normally you see...
Something.
Okay. So this happened 7 or 8 years ago by now. And some of the friends that are in this documentary are, like, they're adults now.
I know. I was thinking about that when I was watching them because I was, trying to do math in my head. And I'm like, okay, they're like young adults. And
yeah, they'd be 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, like they're getting ready to launch, and like having this happen during your adolescent years.
I can't even imagine.
No, yeah, like talk about before and after and like shaping who you are as a person. Yeah. I can't imagine.
So we see, funny videos of them with Libby and Abby. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And Now
It
Grandma Betty.
humanizes them.
It humanizes them, I
Yeah.
agree. Grandma Betty says, they didn't really tell us what had happened to Libby. All I knew is they told me that I needed to bring a scarf for her, and that's when I kind of put it together.
Yeah, when she says they like connected the dots.
Yeah.
That
Anna says picking out Abby's casket was surreal.
yes.
I can't even imagine.
And how she said it was stupid. And I appreciated that because you would have that moment like, this is stupid. Like, what are we doing?
You would be
This is so
enraged.
stupid. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. So now the investigation begins, okay?
Yep.
Richard Allen says, I was out on the trail. And his wife, Karen, says, then you need to go tell someone. And he did.
Yes.
So I want to talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
Because we meet Karen Allen in the beginning of, or Kathy, I'm sorry. Kathy
no
Allen.
worries.
We meet Kathy Allen in the beginning of this. And she is labeled a, quote, resident.
Didn't you see that fancy footwork they did? I caught that too.
But I'm telling you, the minute I saw her name was Kathy Allen, I was like, wait a minute, Allen, isn't that the guy who did this?
Yes. I knew that was her from the jump. But yes, they definitely led you to not believe that.
Yes. It's very, I don't know. I'm going to say this right now. I don't know how people are going to receive this documentary.
Oh, yes. I have. There's lots to discuss about that, right? I don't know. Have you looked into it? And have you heard? Well, you've been listening to Murder Sheet. Have they gotten to the mention of this yet? Where you're at?
Of this documentary?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get to that part yet.
I won't ruin it for you, but they discussed this film crew.
Oh, no, I want to know. I want you to ruin it for me.
Okay, so I don't know where you're at in the Murder Sheet.
I mean, I'm just kind of skipping around.
Because there's 50 billion episodes.
Yeah.
So, when the trial starts and everybody finds out that they're not guaranteed spots, there was uproar over that.
Yes.
And so I cannot remember their names, the husband and wife hosts.
The hosts, yeah.
The hosts. But anyway,
they had people stand in for them.
Yes. And so they talk about how the film crew was kind of aggressive with people about signing like releases and stuff, and they were very pro-defense in their opinion.
Okay.
And they did not have...
It comes across.
I thought so too. Like there's a lot that was not mentioned, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot.
Oh, yeah. A lot.
And so imagine if somebody was going into this case blind, which is the classic documentary bias argument, right? But you would have a very different opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, so they do go into how, and there was something about, I saw this on Reddit and I saved the article, but there was some rumors that this film crew had tried to do some like alleged unscrupulous things to get information for this documentary.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll send you some links to that later because I saved some articles on Reddit about that.
Okay.
Which, Reddit, grain of salt, obviously. But
I like Reddit a lot.
I do too. I love it. Yeah.
So, all right. So now, we learned that Richard Allen was on the trail that day.
Yes.
He tells his wife, and she says to him, you need to tell law enforcement that you were on the trail.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, and he does. And we see this a lot with people. The murderer often inserts themselves in the case.
Early
this is
on.
a big thing. Yep.
Yeah.
So he told a conservation officer, and I was like, what?
That was weird.
Yeah, and I appreciate that the hosts of the Murder Sheet, again, you guys need to listen to it.
Oh, it's so good.
That they really rip into the police department for not putting their best people on this.
As they should,
Yeah. Like, here's a guy who comes forward who says, and at this point, the only piece of evidence you have is somebody captured on camera that looks kind of like this guy.
Absolutely.
He's saying, I was there, and,
Yeah, and then it's like, okay. Conservation officer's like, meh.
So the police interrogate everyone, including the families, as they're supposed to. Shit starts getting ugly. The cops hold a lot close to the vest, which allows rumors to grow. And weirdly, I thought this was so weird. The cops are like, there's no need to fear in the community.
Okay,
Everything's
right?
fine.
Yeah, that scene where the reporter's like, do people need to be worried about the safety of their children? He's like, no. What?
So they find Libby's phone, and she had recorded a person on the bridge. She was holding the phone kind of down by her side, and there was audio as well. And okay, so this is called the Down the Hill video.
Yeah.
She captured a 43-second video, and we see the whole thing. And from what I understand, this is one of the first times after the trial that the public sees the full video.
Correct. This is the first time it's been in any documentaries. It was after the trial. You could find this on Reddit, and I listened to it about 500 times with my phone up to my ear. Because did you notice in the video when I listened to it on Reddit, you can hear more of the girls whispering to each other because one of them says, "It sounds like, is that him, or is he still there?"
Yeah.
And it's this moment. It just it's suffocating. It's suffocating.
Very hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch. Yeah,
you know
I would
what's
say
coming.
if somebody's sensitive to stuff like that, I wouldn't watch it because it's awful.
So what happens is they're coming. Libby gets onto the other side of the bridge first.
Yes,
She's filming Abby. You see Abby, being filmed. And
Yeah.
Bridge guy is right behind her.
Yeah, he's
There's
pretty
a man
close.
who's dressed he's very overdressed for the weather.
Absolutely.
He's got what looks like a Carhartt or a
Yeah.
thick denim jacket on. It's blue. He has jeans on. Does he have a hat on? I think so.
It looks like he has just like a basic like sock hat, is what I call it.
Yeah, like a little cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's walking, and they're kind of whispering.
Yeah.
And Libby's kind of saying, oh, we have to go down this path. Or you could tell she's looking for where do we go.
Yeah, and you can hear her. In some ways, it sounds like she's trying to sound like, oh, let's just go over here. Like trying to kind of keep some calmness in that moment. And
Yeah.
the breathing, I don't know why. That video, it's chilling.
So then you hear the guy say, either go down the hill or get down the hill. Down the hill.
Yeah, he's like,
that's what you
"Guys,
hear.
down the hill." And that's the
And
famous.
I swear to you, I know that this is not right, but I think you hear a clicking of a gun. Like, I was describing it as a cocking of a gun, even though I know that's not what that kind of gun does.
No, I know, but I know what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. You can hear
You
that
hear
stuff.
something.
You do, because like we talked about when that video first came out and everybody was analyzing the hell out of it, you can hear so much more. I wish the audio was more amplified.
So the first thing they say is this has to be a local. Oh, that guy becomes known as Bridge Guy. So
Bridge Guy.
The first thing they say is Bridge Guy has to be a local because you really have to know this area to get back there.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. You could be a regional person.
A regional, yes.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say somebody's going to hop off the interstate and do that, but
Right,
you know.
So Delphi throws a ton of resources at this, and they think this is going to be pretty quick.
I think
But it's
everybody
not.
did at the time. No, like who knew?
So Tom Webster is a YouTuber. And he hosts the Tom Webster channel. He was there through this whole thing, the trial,
yeah.
everything. He says, I became obsessed with this case.
Yeah.
And he starts to focus on what Bridge Guy is wearing.
Yes.
And he says, and this is really interesting because it's important to know that when the girls were killed, they were not shot.
Yes.
So no one is looking for a gun at this point.
Right.
But Tom Webster says that dark blue jacket had an outline in the front pocket. And he had some investigators enhance this, and they believed it was a gun.
Yeah, and they kind of showed the zoomed in picture, and you can see what they're talking about.
We meet Frank Meister,
Frank Meister. One word.
and he's an online sleuth who prioritized this case over everything and
yeah,
everyone.
Frank Meister was intense. I'd be a little intimidated by
know.
Frank Meister.
I know, and he goes, well, John Bonet was getting cold, so,
Right,
I
what was
needed
that?
something.
I know. I was like, okay, Frank Meister.
And the producer's like, are you obsessed with this case? He's like, no, not at
No.
all. What are you talking about?
No. And when
what-
he was like, yeah, I've sacrificed my friends and my family for this, but what?
Yeah.
Like, it was
I
just.
quit my job and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So the cops get 30,000 tips.
Can you
And
imagine?
it's kind of like that Spider-Man meme where everybody in the town starts pointing fingers at each other.
Yep.
And I can see that.
100%.
If that happened here in my little town of Scott, like,
Yep.
we would all be thinking, oh, it's this dude or it's
Absolutely.
that dude or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. The town I grew up in is the size that you live in now. And everybody would do that. Point fingers.
Yeah. And I bet if somebody ended up murdered, I could say to you right now, do you think you know who it would be, who murdered them?
Absolutely.
You probably have somebody
I'd
in
have
mind.
people in mind.
So on July 17th, 2017, they release a sketch of Bridge Guy. And this came from another witness who was on the trail that day. And this witness believes they saw him, but nothing happens.
Yes. And Murder Sheet talks about that again. Plug for
and
Murder
I will
Sheet.
tell you too that I was very surprised there was like no DNA evidence.
I know. That's shocking, right? And there's not much talk of DNA evidence at all throughout this case. And I mean, I don't know if after they determined there was no sexual assault that they just kind of, and again, we're working with small town Indiana police.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I just think he had to have touched them,
he
right?
had to have. I mean, we don't know how long he was with them, right? I mean, we can kind of narrow it down, but yeah, you would think he would have had to have touched them.
They think that he was wearing gloves, but I'm like, he would still get DNA on them.
Something. Well, and especially when we get to the like rushed part of all of it, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So a couple years later, they release a different sketch with a younger guy, and everybody's like, we don't even know what you're doing right now.
People were up in arms about that because they're so vastly different.
Yeah, they really are. One sketch, the guy looks like 60.
Yes.
In the other sketch, he looks 20.
It's shocking. Like nothing
is
is similar.
Swap of time between the two.
Yeah.
So October 31st, 2022, 5 years later, they arrest 50-year-old Richard Allen.
Yep.
And it is a rough 50. I could see why he could be mistaken for, let's 100%. See, he was 45 at the time, so probably 55. I could see that.
Yeah, because he is a rough, when they said he was only 50, I was like, oh, I thought I would have guessed at least 60.
So his wife, Kathy, says, my husband, Ricky, as I like to call him, he's a family man, and we've been married for 34 years. And how dare you accuse someone who's a people pleaser and works in the public? Okay, now I want to say something about this. When I heard this, okay, I thought, oh, is he a first responder? Is he in public office? What does this gentleman do for the public that is so noble? He's a CVS manager. Let's calm down, Kathy.
I know. I thought the same thing. Like, Kathy, I know Kathy is going through it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, like, yes, we would have thought he was some pillar of the society there.
She says, I want justice for Abby and Libby, but it should not come at the expense of an innocent person. And this is where I have written, this documentary is not going to be welcome.
Uh-huh. I think Kathy is going to, I will be curious to see how Kathy feels about doing this after the reactions
this is not good.
Out. No,
this is not good.
She does, yeah, it's rough.
She insists that he was a good dad and a great husband, and she's looking at photos of them, and she's like, those were good times, and I hope they're coming back. They're not.
No, like...
She's decided to speak out because her husband is not a monster. So we get a little bit of a story about them. They met in high school. They got married right out of high school. They have a daughter named Brittany who we don't hear about or see in this entire thing.
This is the first time Brittany has... They showed her picture, which I have a note about that. I was very surprised they showed her picture. And like said her name. That's the first time any of that's been on there. And a lot of the speculation online prior to this was that was his stepdaughter. So that was really interesting to me to see that was his biological daughter.
Okay, interesting.
Small detail, but that was just a thing I had heard.
It sounds like he had a patchy job history, which I don't judge people for that. People move around, companies lay people off, especially if you're in retail or the service industry. That happens a lot.
Absolutely.
So, of all the things that seem sketchy about this guy, that did not.
Yeah, small potatoes. But I noticed that too, though. So they moved to Delphi because he was working at CVS now. Okay. And he had the 13th off. And he was laying on the couch when she got home from work that day. And she says a bulletin came across the TV. And he goes, oh, I was out there on the trail. Yeah.
And this is where she says, you need to call the police. And he says, I called the police, and then, I met a conservation officer in the parking lot, and they asked a few questions, and I was immediately like, did you really meet somebody in a parking lot?
I was just going to ask you, do you think that actually happened, especially since there's no like record of it happening?
I think so now, because they've asked the guy.
Oh, that's true. I did forget about that part. Yes, they did ask the guy. Yeah. But immediately, like if Timmy, let's say this happened and Timmy's like, oh, yes, I was there. I spoke to someone. Like, wouldn't you be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I've thought a lot about this because I do, unfortunately, because I'm a Libra, I think I try to see things from every side. It's so annoying. I've tried to put myself in her shoes. And I was like, I've been married for 19 years.
Okay.
And if Timmy said to me, like if somebody said to me, Timmy murdered these people, I would immediately not believe that.
Same. I would immediately think
he's innocent.
Yes, same. Like I've been with my husband for 14 years and like I would be like, what? Right. Depending on the person.
The part that gets me is the confession. We will talk about that later because I need a full discussion about that.
Yeah, same.
So she now she's telling us that on October 13th, 2022, officers just came to our door and took him to the station.
Yeah. Okay. She makes it sound like he was dragged out. I don't know that that's what happened.
So the first meeting with the police here is videotaped. He's down the station. They tell him, you're free to leave at any time. You're not under arrest. We're just asking you a few questions. It starts off nice and light. Everything is fine. And he says, they're like, what were you wearing? And he says, I was wearing a blue jacket and jeans.
He names the outfit. He says
the exact outfit.
Yes.
They show him Bridgeman and they say, is this you? And he says, if it was taken with the girl's phone, it can't be me because I've never met them.
Weird thing to say.
And they're like, but your clothes match. And he's like, well, I told you I was wearing jeans. Like, that's pretty generic.
Yeah. But like,
he starts to get heated. It starts to ramp up.
Yeah, he starts to get pretty defensive pretty quickly.
And he's like, that's not me in the picture. You will not make me believe that it's me. Arrest me or take me home because we're done here. So that shuts down the first round of questioning. But then they get a search warrant. And Mike Thomas says, at the crime scene, they found what they call an unspent bullet. So, again, I'm not really a gun girl, but I believe that it ejects back.
Yes. So here's I was raised. My dad is a gun owner. He's a very responsible gun owner. I was raised around them. I was raised like shooting guns. Okay. And yeah, when you do that, which, oh my gosh, Dad, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to use the right words. Forgive me. But yeah, that's a thing. When they do that, yeah, and you just like kind of, and it like flies out there.
Okay, but it's not supposed to fly out. It's an accident, right?
No, you can do that on purpose to like get rid of a round. I think.
Why would the killer have done that?
Well,
it's interesting.
They talk about it later at one point, like, was he doing it to possibly like intimidate them? I don't remember who mentions that. Yeah. And like, did he kick that out just to be like, hey, look, I've got a gun?
Yeah, maybe. So they say the extraction marks on that bullet match his gun. So it's important to know here, because this comes up later. Yes. That this is not an exact science of matching unspent bullets with their guns. So if he had shot the bullet, they could line it up. The ballistics could line up 100%. Yep. But because they're trying to find the marks of this unspent bullet, but it's a pretty good science. There's like 2% error rate.
Yeah, it's not as bad. They're kind of trying to link it up with something like, let's say, like the cadaver dogs. You know, that's always a hot take, which I would say.
My mother.
I know. When you were talking about that, I feel bad for the dogs. I want them to be successful, but like.
Me too.
Like they tried. But it's like, I feel like this is more accurate than the dogs. You know what I mean?
Wait, it's only way more 2% error rate.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty good.
They're being very flippant about this, and I feel like they're being very, like, condescending and dismissive about it. I don't know. That bothered me.
So we see him again, another police interrogation. Now, I need to ask you because I went down the rabbit hole watching this whole video online, but I can't remember if they included this part in the documentary where the cops are getting everybody's angry now.
Yeah.
And Kathy is with him at one point. She comes in the room and they're together. The cops leave the room. Of course, they're trying to see what is said between Kathy and Richard when they leave the room. And I can't remember if they show it here, but at one point they're talking and he says something about being on the bridge and she says, "You told me you weren't on the bridge."
Okay, I know what you're talking. That's not in the documentary. They did not show. They didn't really show much dialogue between them in that room, other than them just kind of like hugging and consoling each other.
I feel like that is so important because in the unedited full length video, the raw footage, you see him talking about being on the bridge to the cop. The cop leaves, and Kathy says, "Were you on the bridge?" And he says, "Yes, I told you. I went out to the first trestle, and that was it." And she goes, "I don't remember that. You told me you weren't on the bridge."
Yeah, yes. There is prime example right there of stuff that's not being included in this to give everybody a fair picture.
Yes.
That's a lot. Kathy, they think people aren't, I mean, you can easily find this video. I worry for her.
The average person isn't going to dig, and that's what they're counting on.
I forget that not everybody obsesses.
So now we see Brett and Alice from the Prosecutor's Podcast.
Yes.
And I don't love them.
I don't either.
Yeah. I'll be very honest. I don't love a lot of their takes.
They are complicated historical figures.
They were fine here, I thought. Yes. They were okay. They're complicated historical figures. Yes, they are.
Yeah. And when they popped up on the screen, which I didn't expect that, I did a little like, I was like, where's our murder sheet, people?
I have more problems with him than her, but I still have a lot of problems.
I agree completely.
So the conservation officer who took the report and misfiled it, and it kind of got lost, okay? Mislabeled. Years later, Kathy Shank, hero.
The people's champion, Kathy Shank.
A little old lady in her 80s.
Which I just love that to pieces.
Yep. Retired, volunteering to help out with this case, finds the file, and she's like,
Yep.
What's this?
This is a new name.
That is why an arrest came 5 years later, because this was lost.
Misfiled. I mean, clerical error. It's just, being the family and finding out that there was a clerical error, I don't even know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I could see myself going full scorched earth.
Yeah, me too.
I really could. I just losing all sense of rationale. I don't know. I mean,
thankfully, nobody else was murdered in this community.
Absolutely.
In those 5 years.
Absolutely.
So the detective says when we questioned him, he described himself as wearing the same clothes as Bridge Guy. Yeah. He denied giving a DNA sample. He denied a phone search. So they went and they found, and they got a search warrant.
Yeah.
Yep.
In this day and age, too, that's something which I love. I love watching body cam footage and interrogation videos.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That's my Reels algorithm is
destroyed.
Probably a mess. It's all body cam footage. And I'm always fascinated when, they're talking to the suspect and they're like, okay, well, we need your phone. And they're like, oh, you do?
Yeah. And how do you not know this is going to happen?
How do you not assume? And then they're like, well, right. In their text messages, I love it. I live for that stuff. I recommend.
So they talk about getting the search warrant and finding the bullet at the crime scene that matched his gun. Yeah. And the forensic expert looks at the gun and the bullet and says he agrees with the firearm expert, but there is an error rate, and people challenge this science all the time. Yeah. This is something that I used to talk to my students all the time when I taught rhetorical analysis. Is always think about what is not included, as well as what's included. What is not being said, and they didn't have somebody who said, "Here's what we do in this science." And they did that in court, and it was a really good expert. But they didn't do it in this documentary.
Did you catch how long they said she was on the stand?
No, how long?
7 hours, I think they said that the expert was defending herself.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, it was either 6 or 7 hours. It was an insane, because they said they really put her through it.
Wow. Okay. Ugh. So the cops say when they got to his house and told him they were going to search and not to destroy anything, he said, "What does it matter? It's over anyway."
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. Like immediately. And I feel like he keeps doing this. Like the minute he's confronted, he's like, it doesn't matter. It's over.
It's
or
over.
like, whatever. Take me, arrest me or take me home.
Yeah.
Like he's very, I don't know.
So he starts getting angry in the interrogation room. He refuses a polygraph, which I don't judge. I'm always
Same.
telling everybody, don't take a polygraph.
100,000% I agree with you.
And things get heated. Okay. So now we meet his legal team. We got Andy Baldwin. We got Jennifer Augier. I don't know how you say
I don't
her
know
name.
how you say that.
And Brad Rosie.
Yes.
And they are all established and seasoned, but they are help me.
I don't know.
They're not hired. They are assigned.
Oh,
What is-
appointed.
Thank you. They're
Yeah.
appointed.
Yeah.
So, public defenders. That's what I was
Yes.
going for. So, they felt that he was innocent the first time they met him. They went to see him, and they're like, this guy's innocent. Got to save his life. Andy Baldwin, by the way, says, and I'll concede this point to him. This was not like a gotcha tip.
Right.
Richard voluntarily went to the police and said,
Yes.
I was there. Okay, you made a good point.
He did. Yeah, I agreed with that too.
So, Richard Allen has no criminal history. He's never been in trouble. There are a ton of tips, and they had at least 10 viable suspects, says the defense. Okay, so here are the viable suspects that the documentary provides us with.
That, very good. I'm very glad you said that.
Okay, so we have Ron Logan. He is one of the top suspects. He's a very old man. Bridge
Yes.
Guy was not a very old man.
100%. And when they were showing like Ron Logan's mugshots and then like the bridge guy, I had like screenshot and I was zooming in
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
like, I could kind of see a resemblance, but again, Ron was way older.
Yeah, he just was. And the bodies were found on Ron Logan's property. Now, that doesn't mean anything to me. I live in an area where people have a
Absolutely.
ton of acreage and whatever.
Yes, and they show the outline. He had a huge property.
So Mike Thomas says they did look closely at him. And one of the things I noticed about Ron Logan is he had a very bushy white mustache.
Yep. You
And
would have
Bridge
noticed
Guy,
that.
I didn't see that on Bridge Guy.
Totally.
On February 13th, Ron, I love Ron because I live amongst Rons, if you know what I mean.
I know a ton of Rons
So
too.
Ron's doing some shady shit. He's
Yeah.
like taking trash to the transfer station, and he's lying to the cops
Yeah.
about where he was and asking his cousin to lie to him.
Getting
And
his cousin in the mix.
It turns out that he was lying because he shouldn't have been driving.
And like you said, don't we all know people who have committed stupid ass crimes like that?
100%.
I mean, yeah. It's just
100%.
And,
Yep.
and his poor cousin going along with it for a while.
Yeah. Cousin's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Like,
and then he cracks
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I would too.
So he spends a year in jail because he was driving without a license. It was a
Yeah.
violation of his probation. And he died in 2022. Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't find the evidence they needed.
Yeah. They said,
He was a good suspect in
Absolutely.
that he had a history of violence with women. Mm-hmm. Even his girlfriend was like, oh, yeah.
his
he did it.
girlfriend. Yes. Which, have you seen any of her interviews?
No.
That's something you should look up later. She made the rounds kind of when this was all
Does
going
she still
down.
think it was him?
I haven't seen any recent stuff of her talking, but I don't
Okay.
know. That would be something worth looking into.
And I want to tell everybody right up front that when I watched this documentary, I did go into it. I had not heard coverage of it, of this case. I did not listen to coverage. I literally went into this like, I don't know if he's guilty or not. So, I know I sound biased now towards his guilt, but that's because I've done so much research.
Yeah, right.
When I was covering this, I really was taking my time and thinking about these people as could it be? Could it not? Like, I didn't know.
Yes, that's great. And that's what's so fun and kind of cool about going into a case somewhat blind, right? That unbiased view.
Yeah. So Keegan Kline is the next one. He is a known sex offender. Gross,
He's
gross. I
vile.
hate this
He's
guy.
a vile, vile man.
The girls and some friends were chatting with a kid they named Anthony Schatz.
Oh, Anthony Schatz.
And Anthony Schatz turned out to be a catfish for Keegan Kline.
Yep.
Who is a perv and gross. And
he is the epitome of what you think he is. He is just the epitome of a creepy, creepy man who was looking
in his
for
20s,
young girls to talk to and
living
send
in his
pictures.
parents' basement, no job.
Yep.
They
And
said
he was proud too. Did you see those screenshots of his text where he was like, "I love catfishing"?
yeah, he's gross.
Ugh.
He was okay. So what happened is the girls were at a sleepover with their friends, and somehow they got into this Anthony Schatz guy.
Yes.
And Libby continued the conversation with Anthony Schatz
Yes.
beyond the sleepover party.
Which now, did you notice they said Libby was suspicious of him that night when they were talking about the slumber party because she's a local girl that's been there, and she was like, "Wait, I don't know this guy."
Yeah,
I thought that was again, she's a savvy girl.
she wanted to be in law enforcement when she grew up, and she would have been great.
Oh yes,
So she was chatting with him the night before she went missing, and it was sexual in nature, according to the detectives. In 2020, they charged this dude with 30 felonies of porn charges and disgusting materials and whatever.
he had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and he serves 40 years in jail. They found his phone though was pinging at home during those 2 days. Like he had a pretty strong alibi.
Yeah, he was not there. It wasn't him.
Another thing, Kyla, is he was physically a big guy.
He was a very big guy.
Did not match.
No, and
Bridge guy.
The walking, especially you see Bridge Guy walking in the video. That was not him.
No. So the defense argues many interviews and key interrogations were lost.
Oh,
And
that was
the police department concedes this point. They're like, yes, they're missing minutes. They're, whatever, technical glitches. I don't love that. I'll be very honest.
Either. And I thought they were they downplayed that. They tried to act like that was not that big of a deal. But it was a big deal. It was what they said, like 70. I feel like I remember the number 70 for some reason. Files or something that was lost. And they're like, what do you do? Sometimes that happens. It's like,
that was a big deal. And if
that's a huge deal.
If there's a seed of doubt that this guy did it, in my opinion, it would start there.
100%.
Like, what is missing?
100%.
Yeah. They didn't even collect the sticks that were covering the girls.
Like, what are you doing?
Okay. So now we get a recorded call between Richard Allen and Kathy. He's like, I need to apologize to you. I did it. I killed Abby and Libby.
Yeah.
She's like, why are you saying this? And he goes, because I think I did. Well, at first he's like, I did it. And then she's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. They're messing with your food. They're messing with your medication.
Yeah. There's something going on in there. I got to talk to somebody. Kathy.
I know. I know. So Kathy calls lawyers immediately, and in June 2023, it comes out that he's been confessing in jail all over the place.
All over the place. He's confessing to everybody. Written confessions, asking to confess. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot.
So November 2022, he's in solitary confinement. His lawyers say he's rapidly deteriorating. Enter Terry Cuppers.
Yeah, Cuppers. I don't know how you say that.
Kuppers.
Yes.
He is a clinical psychologist, and he says he was asked to tour the prison.
Yeah.
And he says, we were horrified by what we saw. I mean,
it was
probably any American prison.
I was just going to say, that's a whole topic in itself, right?
So he was in solitary confinement for 12 to 13 months. And the United Nations, Terry says, classifies anything more as 14 days in solitary confinement as torture.
I thought that was interesting because
I did too.
Now, maybe, I guess I was under the impression there's people who do spend like significant periods of time in solitary confinement for like regularly. So when he was talking about that being a human rights violation, I was just like, it's so upsetting.
So now we meet John Gallipo.
John Gallipo is not really here for your shit.
He's the former warden of the prison, and he's like, it's not a bed and breakfast.
Yeah,
it's
he's
prison.
like, what do you want from me?
He's talking about the Supermax prison, Westville, which is
Yeah.
where he was held. Richard was held. Richard could have interacted. He got his rec time every day if he chooses. He got showers every day.
He gotta eat.
He saw mental health every day. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that meant. A little more on that.
Did he have a camera in his cell? Yeah, because of his actions. I mean, he was shackled within an inch of his life, but this guy had a lot of freedom.
Yeah, he's talking about like leashes and stuff, and I was like, whoa.
Like, dude.
Yeah, and he's like, well, everybody knew what he did, so it's for his own benefit. And John's delivery was a little...
John, I mean, he's hardened. He's seen some shit.
John has been through it.
But John is also, I'm just going to say, kind of everything that's wrong with the prison system.
100%.
And I'm not saying like him personally, but like
what John
this attitude
represents.
You're not on fucking vacation, dude.
Yes.
Basic human rights are not
basic human rights not being... Yes, that's not a luxury. And again, I could talk about that for hours.
So Terry says, in the mental health field, we are skeptical when someone confesses under extreme mental health deterioration. John Gallipo says, do I think this was abusive? No. Was it ideal? I mean, it's not a Marriott.
I know, John.
But then John says, and this is true, he said, we had to protect him from other inmates.
Yeah.
Because we know the stereotype of if there's a murderer in prison who has hurt children, they are normally at risk of violence from the other prisoners.
Which, the Chris Watts, I always think of him. I hate him. I
never think of him.
Oh, I went down that rabbit hole so deep when that case came out. And he's in, I don't think he's in solitary, but he's in a protected population, I do believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and because there was a lot of petitions online for people did not want him to have pictures of Shanann and the children. Because he's new man, he found Jesus and all that. So
okay, all right,
yeah.
So Andy one morning in his office stumbles upon something called an Odin report.
The Odin report.
Was this a ritualistic killing? Now this is where episode 2 ends, and I think we're going to end our episode 1 here.
Okay.
And pick up on another episode because episode 3 has so much and you and I have so much more to talk about.
This was a documentary where I was going to say this was deserving of 3 episodes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm normally not into that.
But
I agree with you. Yeah.
There was a lot of information here.
So guys, if you want to hear the rest, just click on to your next episode in your feed and we will continue with this. And I don't know, if you hate us and never want to listen to another episode, okay, sorry, we loved you.
Bye. Yeah.
All right. We will see. Kyla, thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
And guys, we will see you in the next episode.